I've said it for a good while, but the MC in the Most Notorious Talker has to be the best case of Edge done right. Because it's not exaggeration, it's not a lie to say that this man actually carved a man's face off and stole another party's leader and called it a day for his season finale. It's funny too because the dude who he cut off the nose of and turned into Pigface had like a snoz, I don't know, like 7 or 8 inches long, and he had the inches in the wrong place. And I thought it'd be funny if Leon broke his nose or something, because that nose is just asking to be hit. And my boy came in there with his knife and carved it off flat. I'm like, I love that the show doesn't just get like, it's not always about showing the violence of it. Like, there's every 2 or 3 episodes, is a moment like this gonna pop up? Yes. But it's not what defines the show, right? Like, the big thing about it is how Noel is as an MC, and he does such a good freaking job at being such a lovable douchebag who gives no shits and is maximum scumbag energy. And some people called me crazy last week. I actually said it would be very interesting if we went the route of Leon joining the party, and I had a lot of pushback. And if anything, I walked in this episode more under this assumption of what people were thinking last week, that ultimately Leon would become more of a villain and would go up against us in the future. And I'm like, yeah, I guess that would make sense, but there's just something about taking a leader who was never really fit for the party he was in because the others surrounding him would never excel with him. But when you think of Leon, he would excel with the others in our party. And lo and behold, member number 4 is now in the party. So it's looking like currently the puppeteer could be the 5th or maybe even the 6th member we end up getting. But if they don't confirm a season 2, damn shame, damn crime. Season 2 ASAP, please. Just give it to me. Inject it into my veins. Of course, I have full live reactions over on Patreon. If you want to see my full and thoughts on this Most Notorious Talker episodes, it's going to be over there exclusively. So, one of my personal favorites I watched every single Monday. The good thing is the way they leave off this season is actually very satisfying. You could use this as a stopping point and never get more. It's just the quality of the anime production, I think, was incredibly undervalued. I've mentioned it multiple times, but I think it's worth reiterating. While sometimes, yes, the animation wasn't always the craziest, the art direction they chose for this show was so gritty and raw, and it just captured the edge they were going for, rather than just having blood splatter everywhere. Like, sometimes that happened, but there was something about the color palette. It was a darker, dimmer kind of tone to everything, and it just always kind of got across the mood they were going for. And when the animation did pop off, like, look at the intro of the episode when we basically one-shot this beast and ripped through its stomach, or the way he slices a man's nose clean off. Like, they did a good job, and I truly believe, and I've stuck by this whole season, that this was an underappreciated show. I've seen people say that the anime visually was mid, or this, that, and the third, and I don't see it. I think they did a hell of a good job. I really do. Everything about this show did what it needed to. And I think when you look at Leon as a character, man, like, there's no denying that Noel's a scumbag. Like, like, if you said he's a douchebag, he would smile and say, excellent, that's exactly how I want people to perceive me. But was there some true spoke when he talked about how the party was? Yes. But at the same time, I don't think the party was ever going to reach a point where friend was going to stab friend without Noel interfering. I'm going to die on that hill. I really don't think that would happen, but could there have been blow-ups? Of course. But either way, once it was all said and done, there was 2 options I saw with a character. I either thought his friend was going to join up with Noel's party, which was unlikely to me, but I could see the potential, because I didn't think he was necessarily weak, but I also didn't think he was necessarily insanely talented. But my thing was, like, even last week, and go back and watch, was that I really was like, Leon would make an interesting addition. But he is pretty stubborn, right? Like, I wasn't expecting this episode to come out and he'd be calling a master this quickly. It doesn't feel rushed. It's just the way they went about this wasn't something I expected to happen. I expected in season 2 he might end up joining, right? Like, there'd be a whole ass arc later on and we'd meet back up with him, maybe through a fight, and then he would be recruited. Instead, no, like, he didn't have much going for him. He was getting jumped, he didn't really want to fight back, and I was really shocked because up to this point, characters who don't fight for themselves, he doesn't really try to help. So I was like, oh no, he has to start punching this dude. I thought he was going to break this penguin-looking bastard's face. No, Noel came in because he's like, no, I already know I want this guy. I just need to give him that one last push to realize that where he belongs is next to my side. And I think one thing I can appreciate, and I think this is what helps sell him from being too edgy, is these moments are pretty far between each other. But the moment after he knocks his friend out, he's like, he hears him basically, you know, say something, and he wants to turn around because it's an emotional moment, and Noel says, don't do that. Leave him some dignity and walk forward. It shows that despite a lot of the bullshit he says, he does in these moments, because in this moment, does he need to be a scumbag to this dude? No, leave him with some dignity and march on knowing you're marching towards your next chapter and he'll have to do the same, but he needs to get up by himself. You don't need to see him cry and be pathetic there. Remember him as your friend, right? Those moments are really good, and I think they go underappreciated, because it's easy to say, oh my god, MC cut dude's face off, or MC bodied this group just for the lull so he could recruit a new member. And that is all true, and that is all edge. Damn good edge if you ask me, but edge nonetheless. Noel's character is never just constantly like, I'm gonna stab everyone who does me wrong. No, like, he basically matches the energy given. And there's, yes, if there's ways to be scummy and manipulate things behind the scenes, he will, but at the same time, he can only manipulate so far. It is true that certain actions, like the stabbing, only happen because of that man. But still, his pushing to get to these moments, you know, you can't deny the fact had a lot of influence. It was a good season, man. Like, I'm not gonna say the show was 10 out of 10. Like, it's like an 8 out of 10 show to me. A damn great show, but there isn't much I had changed. If anything, I just think the first few episodes were weaker than the rest. But the first few episodes were damn enjoyable. So, like, I don't know, it's just, it doesn't look like much at face value. It looks like, oh, we always see these edgy shows every season. MC doesn't give a shit, he's maximum edgelord. But man, there's something about him and the party that we form. You wouldn't think, with how they paced the show initially, that we'd end up with 4 members total, including, of course, our leader. But they made it work. Season 2, we'd be able to flesh out Leon, potentially recruit the puppeteer, or a different character. I don't know, like, Season 2, please. If they don't confirm it, I'm gonna be shaking my fists in anger. Because that's about all I could really do. I don't have enough influence to confirm a second season, but I can hope, damn it. But spread the word. We want Season 2 of The Most Notorious Talker. I think a lot of us walked in expecting the bare minimum, and we're left at least entertained. I mean, you had to have been at least entertained for the most part. For me, though, I was very much impressed. And I'll never forget the one comment I got a few weeks ago, maybe like 4 weeks ago. Someone with their chest fully said, I don't know why you refer to it as a snake. It's a serpent. Not even making that up. Someone actually commented that. I love YouTube comments. Let me know your thoughts and feelings though down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell. And like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll just give you a video shout out. So today we got Sandra Nuns, Mobita, Feather, The Lyrical G, Andrew Stevens, Himi Meow Toga, Misto Dreamer, and we also have Kusho. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.